I reread a portion of our text. I urge that supplications, prayers, intercessions, and thanksgivings be made for all people, for kings and all who are in high positions, that we may live a peaceful and quiet life, godly and dignified in every way. This will serve as a text for our meditation. Well, welcome to the Chapel of Christ Triumphant. For those few that are sitting in the front, those in the back, those watching online, and those who may watch on our recorded YouTube channel later today or even 10 years in the future, welcome. Let us be thankful for so many ways and so much access we have to watching chapel and having access to chapel. For instance, let me quickly welcome my mother, who I hope is watching from Indiana. Hi, Mom. That we wouldn't have been able to do not too long ago. Well, I am just a normal person, like all of you. I have no special powers. I'm completely normal and average as anyone can get. My email address is not im@cuw.edu. I cannot change water into wine. I cannot walk on water. I cannot heal those that are sick, raise the dead, tell people how to catch nets full of fish, cast out demons, heal lepers, still a storm, cure a sick person by them just touching me, giving sight to the blind, speech to the mute, hearing to the deaf, ability to walk to the lame, restore withered hands, and feed 5,000 with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Truthfully, I have a difficult time sending my out-of-office assistant on my email when I'm not here. And I have no idea how to embed a video in the newest version of PowerPoint. No, seriously, I need help with this. If anyone knows how to do that, please let me know. I am just a normal, human, earthly person who looked really foolish in my last class when I was talking to my computer, asking why this video would not play, and asking it very nicely if it would start, and it didn't. Stupid computer. There is, however, one unhuman thing I can do, well, that all of us can do. This unhuman act, skill, resource is a gift that many of us overlook, do not use that often, or totally reject. This beautifully wrapped with large red bow, tinsel shining box is a gift like no other. Much better than most of the gifts that you get under the tree, birthday, or graduation. This is not socks or t-shirts. However, at my age, socks is an okay gift. So is a new snow shovel or a cordless leaf blower with multiple batteries. Now, those are nice gifts. However, the gift I'm speaking about is that of prayer. Prayer is the ultimate smartphone, better than any iPhone, Samsung, or BlackBerry. It has 24/7, 365 access to God. You always get a clear signal, and the battery never runs out. You have a constant and direct line to our God, and there's never a bill or data overage slowdowns. And you never have to ask, do you hear me now? I think prayer is something that anyone can do. Simply start talking to God. Some of us might not pray because we think this is some sort of trick or special code someone must have. You may not think that you're good enough to be able to have a conversation with God. Maybe you've not been in a church your whole life, and you think that this must be something they teach in Sunday school, and you missed it. But that's not true. All of us can pray. You do not need any special certificate or training. However, I do think that there are people who pray often that seem to have it better figured out than others. I think of an old pastor friend of mine that I get to pray with weekly. How his conversation with God are so intimate, personal, and active. Several years ago, I had a friend send an email to a group of us after his mother had died. In his brief note, he was thanking us for our thoughts and prayers to him and his family. He indicated how his mom had prayed for him every day. He knew someone was in prayer for him daily. This was of great comfort to him. I also have that sort of mom. Each night she spends much time praying for each of her kids, grandkids, and many others. There truly are prayer warriors. I think as with most things, the more time you spend doing something, the better you get at it. When thinking about prayer warriors, I think about the previous residents of this campus, the School Sisters of Notre Dame. As I am told, a nun was constantly in prayer in the Regalery Chapel at all times. Prayer was so important to these nuns that they wanted to ensure at least one person was doing it at all times. Regardless of when, Christmas, middle of the night, even during a Packers game, at least one nun was praying. I like to look at these people as examples and inspirations in how to pray and what to inspire to in my own prayer life. I think we also fall into the trap of only praying for other people. How often do we talk to God about ourselves, asking for help in our own lives? Do we take the time to identify our own shortcomings, our anger, bitterness, selfishness? Do we ask for help and forgiveness, which is really hard? And how to be a better Christian? God already knows where we need help, encouragement, and support. And unlike that math grade from junior year in high school, God already knows everything, unlike your parents did. As well, we tend only to pray for those we are close to, those we love, our family, friends, neighbors, people whom we know the whole story, which we should pray for often. Maybe, when on rare occasion, we do pray for other people that, well, we might not like that much. The prayer might be something like this: God, please make Mike get caught for leaving work early. Or God, why is Bob such a jerk? I hate him so much. No one likes him, and I'm sure you don't either. Or Jim, God, why don't you let Jim fall down the stairs and hit his head hard many, many times, right? Our text speaks to prayer for those in charge, our kings or politicians. And we certainly have many politicians. If you lived right here, if CUW 12800 North Lakeshore Drive was your home, you would have the following politicians that represented you. On a federal level, you would have a president, a vice president, 2 senators, and a rep in the House. At the state level, you would have a governor, a lieutenant governor, superintendent of public instruction, attorney general, state treasurer, secretary of state, a state senator, a member of the state assembly, the state Supreme Court, and there's 7 of those. In the county, you would have the county treasurer, the county clerk, a sheriff, coroner, register of deeds, district attorney, clerk of courts, county supervisor, county board chair, and the city level, you would have a city council member and the mayor. Not a short list, and I'm sure I'm missing many. And in this scenario, you don't even have an HOA board, which I hear is the worst. Now, these politicians are not all on your Christmas card list. They are not on the list of people that you want to meet and have dinner with. These are not always our favorite people. Most likely, you did not vote for all of them. I'm sure some are on your good list. With all those, I'm sure there's someone you voted for and like, but simply some are on your bad list. This group of people are in need of prayer more than ever. And just to be clear, not the prayer where you wish that they bite their lip, get a flat tire, or a speeding ticket. As Christians in what feel is a post-Christian society, more than ever we need a country that allows Christians to worship and practice in a way that may lead to a peaceful and quiet life, godly and dignified in every way. Our prayers should include that they look to Jesus in their decisions, that they make choices that honor God, prayers that are encouraging and uphold our leaders. Whether you voted for them or not, they still are our elected officials. Some Christians feel that we're at a crossroads in America. There's fear the government will impose more laws and restrictions that directly impact the way we as Christians live and worship, both in our home, our churches, and even our Christian colleges. I don't really know either way. I'm not a political scientist. But what I do know, even the politicians we dislike the most, the ones whose pictures are on our dartboards, the ones we cringe when we hear their names, are the ones we need to pray for the most. So I wondered, how do our prayer warriors handle praying for those sorts of politicians, the ones we're not necessarily fans of? And I asked the one I know best. So, Mom, do you pray for X politician? Her response was what I would have thought. Oh, Steve, I just don't know what they're thinking. I have no idea why they do the things that they do. It makes me so angry. And yes, I pray for them more than most. So there you go. If Mom or Nana, if Bonnie, as she's known affectionately, can pray in a God-pleasing way for our leaders, so can we. I challenge all of you to add to your daily prayers the leaders of our country at all levels. And if you don't have daily prayer, take this challenge as a way to start. Amen.